Greetings and salutations. I'm here with the wonderful Akila, also known as Novi, as well as Salim, also known by the community as Spike One. Now, usually you see me hosting DecibelLK Weekly News Roundup, but this time around we try to take a step back, take a look at the gaming scene in general, and also get a look at how the clans have been handling throughout this turbulent time period of our lives. Let's take a look at our guest today. Akila, if you would introduce yourself to the rest of us.
Well, my gaming name is Snowy, and I've been an administrator for Phoenix Gaming since 2018. Been in the esports scene since 2016.
And Salim?
My gaming name goes as Spike One. I've been in the gaming scene from 2008, and I joined PNX in 2008. We were just a player that time, and I became the admin in 2012. During my time till now, I've been handling many departments and gaming departments. Competitively, I played CS 1.6, CSGO, and final game which I played was Special Forces 2.
I am proud to say that both of these players have had a massive impact in the gaming scene in general for a long time now. But now you two are here as representatives of Phoenix Gaming. Now I would like to know the account on both of you. How did you two join Phoenix Gaming? What's the story behind that? Let's start from Akila.
I'm still a League of Legends player, even though I uninstalled, but I still consider myself as a League of Legends player. Back then, Phoenix was like when we first started playing League of Legends competitively. Phoenix used to be that one big opponent that we always had to face, right? And there was this one League of Legends tournament where Abid actually approached me and he was like, why not join PNX? And I've been playing a lot of customs with them, like a lot of custom lobbies, and I was like, you know what, let me just talk to my team. And yeah, 2018 we decided to jump ship, and here we are at Phoenix.
Alright, Salim, what about you?
During my school days, I was studying Colombo South International. Then my friends, they introduced me to play CS 1.6 in my class. Then we went to Minehead, and there where my career started. And I saw how competitive the gaming is, and I was very deeply interested in that, even though I was very good in my academics. And I started playing competitively. I balanced everything. And then PNX, there was a change in management, and we had our chairman and co-founder actually, Abid Latif, and CB Safwan, and they took over. Then they were from a FIFA background. Then they started taking multiplayer games, and when we were expanding, they could not manage everything, all the departments. So they asked me whether are you having any interest to do the admin part, and I was like, yes, why not? And then I was doing simultaneously. I was playing competitively, and as well as I was managing also. It was a huge growth. Then we went in the peak. We went up and up and up, and then there it was introduced Best Clan Year of the Award by Gamer.lk. Then to get that award, we have to work for 1 year. We have to win every tournament, accumulate points. So we started expanding our gaming portfolio. Not only FIFA and CS, we went for Dota. Abid and CB, they played a huge role there to get best players, best teams, so sponsors especially. It was not all about you go to tournament and spend and come. We were looked after the entire year, from internet bills to gaming gears. Everything was sponsored by PNX, and eventually we won many awards from best clan till we had the best players in our clan, from FIFA till CS to Dota, everything. And myself professionally, yes, I won CS tournaments. I could not win any major tournaments. We won here and there, but when you take Special Forces too, yes, I won many tournaments.
What is your proper title in Phoenix Gaming as of right now? You mentioned that you were administrator.
Now the proper title, I can say it goes as administration, looking after the operations and all, and also looking into recruitment part. And I don't play professional anymore because now I don't have the time like I had before. Lately there was a huge change of shift in the gaming industry in Sri Lanka. It mostly aligned towards mobile gaming, and a lot of players, new players, started playing that game, and slowly the hype and vibe for playing this competitive multiplayer games in PCs generally reduced, and even from online to LAN. And that's how it goes, and it went, and still it's a sad part, but let's see how it turns up.
Let's see how it turns up, right? As representatives of the Phoenix Gaming clan, I want to know, do you guys have any exciting future developments like within the clan in mind? Do you have anything to look forward to?
I think Salim would be best to answer that one.
After the pandemic and during the pandemic, there was a huge shift, as I mentioned before. What we are looking is, we are trying to have a huge change. We are still analyzing on which path to go away, because now globally still there's a huge demand for PC games, since PNX is a huge wing for League of Legends, and League of Legends is highly recognized globally, Dota 2 and CS:GO as well. Now comes Valorant also. We are still finding out from where to start, and we are planning by at least end of this year. I spoke with the senior management. Now we have the hierarchies, so we are in the second in line. The top in line is the chairman and the director, Abid and Safwan, and I asked them, what are we going to do? They said, we'll wait till December and let's see how the change, and through that we'll be relaunching. We are still going on, and we want to evolve in the way the global esports is going way. So we want to start from there.
Alright, that's perfect. And from the streaming end of things, do you guys have any future streamers to showcase? Is there anything happening on that end?
We did have Rusia, who used to be a massive streamer for Phoenix Gaming. I don't think he's very active streaming for Phoenix anymore. But we are planning on recruiting a couple of streamers. I will not do any name drops as of yet, because this is still like a work in progress. But apart from that, that is like the only plan for streamers for now. Like, we are trying to like showcase a lot of esports talent and not just like, stick to single player stuff like that, because we want it to be an educational experience for the viewer as well. So that is like the plan for streaming.
Now, this is more for a question that is meant to educate. As representatives of Phoenix Gaming, we have not exactly heard the story of how Phoenix Gaming came to be, how the clan had its inception. Can we hear the inception of Phoenix Gaming, how it all came to be?
In 2008, when the gaming scene started to a next level, actually Gamer.lk was the main organization to bring things up, and I have to credit Ravin, and he had been intact for a long time, and it was his passion for esports, and he's still intact and keeping the scene alive. So I have to give credit to him. And then came the clans. Actually, the first clan, what we all know, was Dead Company. There were other random players. Then we saw how aligned Dead Companies, they had jerseys. So those days having a jerseys was like a huge thing. All right, so wearing a Dead Company jersey. And there was another clan called Fear, which is no more. So I joined Fear, and for a short time, then looking how the clans are coming little by little, PNX came from FIFA. It was basically a FIFA clan. We developed, and it started from there, and lot of people with new fresh ideas came into the clan, and they gave their inputs. And the great part was Leon, Abid and CB, they were listening, and they were, yes, they accepted. They were not short-sighted or narrow-minded. They accepted, they believed what they said. For them, it was not all about money and winning. It's all about people who are with them. We had very bad times in our clan. There are certain disciplinary action were also taken by certain players. Still, they didn't sack them out. And that's how PNX was built. It's like a family. Until now, it's like a family. If there's an issue for a player, we are the first people to be there. That's how it came slowly by slowly, and listening to other people's input, especially the players. We didn't consider that he was small or big. And yeah, when I talk about small, I have to say that we had a FIFA player. His name was Akram. He was the youngest guy to win a PS4 or PS3, I think, in a tournament. He was the youngest, I think it was 9 years. No, sorry, Binura. He was the first player. I don't remember what game he played. He was the youngest esport player to come into the scene. Binura Disoisa. And now I think he's having his own gaming creation company. And he was an admin. Now he's no more. He was out of the clan, in the sense he's inactively not into the management. And we had another player called Akram. He was the youngest player to get a PS4. And we had, I think he won a motorbike also in a tournament. I don't remember. So we produced certain talents like that. We produce like that.
Well, that's a bit of history that
and it's not just esport players that we try to develop. We try to give out the best options for someone who's interested in esports. So like esports, like something that when like a lot of people think what's esports, they just think of the players and the coaches. That's not it. We have a lot of other things, right? So Phoenix has produced a lot of shoutcasters, commentators for these games. Someone that comes into my mind would be Hades.
And you?
I'm not gonna pat myself on the back, so I'm not gonna say that. But then again, I was a shoutcaster as well. But we look into other things as well at Phoenix. It's not like if you were to look at esports as a career option, and if you were in Phoenix, we would give you the best opportunities that you could go for. Like we would push you. Okay, so you're not a good player. Why not try shoutcasting? Okay, try management, try team management, try coaching. Something like that, because like there are certain players who like they're not gifted mechanically, but they have like a good analyzation skill, who would be perfect as coaches, right? So we have that going on at Phoenix.
Adding to that, that's something he brought up. In many teams, they have certain PNX players. They don't play video games professionally, but they come for the tournament for the sake of motivating their friends. And their motivation is the key to winning the tournament.
Exactly.
That is the key. So we didn't have only dedicated esport player. We had a variety. We had a huge female player wing. We
still do, by the way.
We still do. They were respected. They were protected. They were looked after very well. And whatever the necessary, we encouraged them. And yes, I was handling a wing. The game called Fortnite. It was a player base of youngsters, 11, 12, 13 years, and their parents, they call me in the middle of a night or in the evening time. Son, he wants to come for the tournament. What is this here? So, don't worry, uncle. This is the thing. Don't worry, auntie. This is the thing. You send it to you. And I know a player named Rehan. He was the top
best Fortnite
player in Sri Lanka. His dad, he came once to I think SLT tournament, and he was seated there. I was, uncle, don't worry, he'll be there. After that, he never came for any tournament. Before sending his son, he calls me, Puta is coming. I said, don't worry. Until we go and drop even the boy late night to his house. And his father is not worried at it. His father encouraged. And his father, he is asking for a PC. His father calls, he's asking for a PC. What shall I do? Buy and give. Next moment, he buys and give. So we had a trust from the parents also. And we educated the parents. Gaming is not like a taboo. You will think that it will put your player back. And I was an example. I said, I am also highly educated. I am having an engineering degree. So why can't they? And what gaming has taught me, with a limited time, you need to achieve your task no matter what. If not, you lose. So that what I'm saying, gaming is one of the main reason for me to accelerate in my academics. If not, I don't think I would have been so much educated.
Sounds like you guys actually took the time to cultivate an entire healthy community. And looks like you two have gone quite the distance as well during this journey. Now let's jump into the nitty-gritty of it all, okay?
Yeah.
Now comes questions that you might have to dig in a bit deep, but let's go ahead there anyway. Now, I require honest answer from this, and this can be like your personal opinion. Do you think that the general view of all the clans in Sri Lanka are unified when it comes to the establishment and the rising of esports in Sri Lanka?
Well, the thing is, this is my personal opinion, and clans in Sri Lanka right now is not unified to bring esports to one direction. It's not, because right now Phoenix wants to get PC players, our standpoint is getting all the PC players to a point where they are really good international level, right? But something that we've noticed is that the other clans, certain clans, are pushing more towards the mobile scene. The mobile scene, well, it's only popular in the South Asian region, right? And I have a feeling okay, we win South Asian region. After that, what? There are no world tournaments happening, right? And what are the tournaments that would give us world recognition? Games like League of Legends, games like CSGO, games like Valorant, games like Dota 2. Those are the ones that would give Sri Lanka a little bit of recognition at least, right? What I would say is okay, give mobile gaming a chance, that's fine, but we should not forget PC gaming, right, Salim? This is something that a lot of us discuss on TeamSpeak or Discord whenever we get on.
Salim, your thoughts?
My personal opinion, during the COVID-19, things changed quickly, like in the blink of an eye. I started seeing The land tournaments all were disappeared like to a bigger level. I don't know why. Yeah, we had so much because of the pandemic. You couldn't host. Then mobile games started pitching in, and eventually the PC gamers started reducing. It's not about reducing, because if there are no tournaments, okay, then there is no way people dedicate themselves to practice and come together. I'm not criticizing the mobile game. It has to be, yes, there are also gamers, but the foundation of the gaming started with PC in Sri Lanka. So we have to value that, we have to respect that, and we have to keep it intact. Let's say globally something called PC games is no more, it's all about mobile trend, then you can omit it. Yeah, there's no trend, but globally the PC games are going up. You say CSGO, Valorant, Dota, League, and there are other new games coming up. So what is happening to Sri Lanka? What is this all about? And the main problem, when I talk about the unity, our country also is in a very bad situation because we didn't have unity among us. So that is a huge lesson we all learned. In the gaming scene, clans are never unified they are unified to a point where something benefits to each other. Okay, for example, I'm not gonna criticize anyone, no offense. We had a Sri Lanka Esport Association, and still it is there, and we have some voting process. Since I was in the management, we have voting process, and there are some clans, when they have something benefiting for them, then they ask support, then it is done. So if we want to compete at least with these Indians or Bangladeshis or Pakistans, we say we have nice talents in Sri Lanka. So what happens? Skilled players are in each clan, and they are devoted to their clan no matter what, and they don't let their players to join together. Let's say you take one game like CSGO. There are certain players, good players in PNX. There will be certain players in Extreme. Okay, there are certain good players in Maximum. So this clan, the clan admins, they should talk together and they should come to one idea, right? Our players, they should like unify and play and go to globally, and we have to compete there. Let them go. We will support. Let them be in the clan, but they don't unify. Even though PNX encourage, let's unify. We have nothing to do. We are not going to take your players. We don't want your players. Let them go. Some clans no.
I think a good example of that was when Willy Wonka's team played back then, Meme Masters.
Yeah.
We Phoenix had a team called Meme Masters for League of Legends, and the support player was from Noble Alliance. Yeah.
What was his name?
Mojo.
And when we said we don't want Mojo, let him be playing standalone, then comes in the stage, all were wearing PNX jersey, he had to wear Noble Alliance jersey. There we started the separation of players. That was the place where we went backwards. If not, now when you see India, there was a point where Sri Lanka was in the peak, and I should say in CSGO, our team, they had a good run with the teams like Zig Esports and Geishan Roach. Apart from any clan, they went standalone. They went to an extent. They broke everything, and Geishan Roach and all were very old players. They went against it. Why I'm asking, as an organization, we should encourage and support the players. They should not fight all the way to go up on their own, because it's a struggle, it's a stress to their mind. As a organization, the esports organization clans in Sri Lanka, they are not unified. Due to that only, we had a huge distraction. Today, why we don't have any PC game tournaments happening? Because none of the clans are coming forward to do that. So I'm not criticizing mobile game completely. I support mobile game. I played mobile Legends for a short time. I love it. But that doesn't mean you should skip other games. CSGO players, there are no more in Sri Lanka, to be honest. All have shifted to Valorant, but we have few Valorant tournaments. And when you see Dota 2 tournaments, I have never seen any Dota 2 tournament. We had great Dota 2 players. Now recently we had a national qualifiers. Then I saw the legendary players who never have time for their own things to do. They came up for the sake of our country, and they are represented. Why? We shouldn't be ashamed. We should show that globally we have. But they were the first in line. They are very senior players. There is no second in line. To build up a second in line, we should host tournaments. Then the youngsters will say, there are tournaments coming. Let us play. It's not all about money. Not everyone expecting money. Yes, there are enough of sponsors in Sri Lanka now. We can find at least some prize pool. It will keep an entire. Then League of Legends. I never seen any tournaments happening. So
I think league has been running on like a very dull state right now, because no tournaments means players. Basically, it just happens like a domino effect. So when you don't have tournaments, people are not encouraged to play that game anymore. And after that, they're like, why do we even want to play tournaments? And then it just goes away, right? Like the passion for gaming just goes away like that. And like something that kept us on the edge, like one of the main reasons was for us to like, turn on our PC and then play a game of League or two would be to like, okay, this is practice for us. This is our practice sessions. And there were times when we would dedicate about 5-6 hours of our day, rather to like practice for the upcoming tournament. And when we don't have tournaments like that, then what's the point, right? That's the mentality going through a lot of players' head right now.
Most of the players, they work. My personal experience, when I left the professional scene in 2020, in 2017, when I was working, and I'm an engineer, I was working in the healthcare as biomedical engineer, so I had to work from 8:30 till 5, and I'm coming back home at about 5:30. I have wash and I relax a bit. At about 7 o'clock, I had to start practicing till 11 in the night. So because we had tournament, I dedicated like that. So when there are tournaments, you prepare yourself, because in a team, when you play multiplayer game, it's not all about one person shining. It's all 5 have to play. So all 5 have to sync. You can't communicate all the time. I'm going to be this. I'm going to do this move, that move. You have to sync in such a way that your player, your partner, or your colleague who's with you understand your movement and help you. So that we had a motivation, we had a goal that a tournament is coming up, we have to prepare. There was no prize money. But for the passionate of the game. So at least for something like that. So when you talk about Gamer.lk, I have to credit, they are still intact, they are keeping the gaming scene alive. But they should, not to criticize them, I should tell them to take a note that they should remember.
It's more like a suggestion to GLK.
My suggestion is they should take a note, they should remember that they started the gaming from PC games, and they had a good set of tournament. They had a set of tournament for LAN, they had a set of tournament online. I said, let's say LAN, we might not have the facilities because there are no big gaming cafes. Let's say online, they had like GCLL, Gamer.lk League of Legends tournament. They had GCOL, that is Gamer.lk Overwatch League. Then they had GCCL and GCDL. These were the two oldest online league, and there were a lot of players coming online. And we know there's no prize pool, there's nothing, but there were some rankings they had. There were 2 tournaments happening per year, and it was a huge league-wise tournament, and that was a happening time because a lot of players got together and they played. They had even GC for SF2 also they had, which I played, and it was very fun. We know we are not going to get anything, but still we want to play that. And they, in the LAN series, I remember they had Kings of Land, right? Kings of Land. They had Kings of Land. They had many tournaments. So when these people started hosting tournament, the clans also started have their own brand. Like PNX had Respawn, and we had our Horus tournament. We had MSI.
So basically,
we also had our own way of things. Maximum had Maximum Ladders.
Yeah.
Noob Alliance also had. So players were very happy because they know every month there is a tournament. We are occupied. We should play.
So basically, it's like every month there would be a tournament for every game. So if you were a league player, you would like, okay, fine. Okay, we lost Maximum Ladders. Okay, fine. We'll get them in the next one. We'll get them at Respawn. We'll get them at, if we lose at Respawn, okay, fine. We have the other tournament coming up. So we always had like a tournament to look forward to, and now it's not there. That's the problem.
It's a very, very sad part because it tears you apart, because even though our game is not played on that tournament, on that month, now there was something, streaming came up. So we were very excited to see. There was Facebook streaming, there was YouTube, there was Twitch. People who never saw what the game is all about, when the shoutcasting part came, they understand. Okay, when you take Dota, there is something called, there are roles of heroes, there are supports, there are core roles. So we learnt also. So people even had a side game like playing for like casually other games as well. It was good. And even there were a lot of single player title games also hosted by X3, and now none of them are there.
And that is a big loss.
Big loss.
It is a
big
massive
loss. Because a lot of people, it's not the loss in the sense, most of them have invested something which you cannot get back of their life. That is their time. Time is something very valuable. And most of these players, they have invested their time in this gaming, expecting nothing in return, but have the passionate and happiness to play the game. So it is the responsibility of the clan and organizers who are there to start doing this.
And again, countering on what you guys just said, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a moment here.
Yeah.
Okay? There are some people that claim that this detachment / castration of PC tournaments and the new focus towards like a mobile oriented branding is the reason why esports in general have a bigger presence in Sri Lanka right now. Do you agree with this sentiment?
Well, the thing is, like, yeah, okay, so the thing is, what we are saying is mobile gaming is okay, but don't get rid of PC gaming. I mean, like, what's like let me just quote something like purity with exception of anything is not pure at all. You get what I'm saying? Castrating PC games would not be like the ideal option, because there are so many PC players right now, and all these esports titles are being optimized that you could pretty much play it on a toaster, right? So I don't get the whole point of like omitting PC gaming gives a bigger presence to esports in Sri Lanka. That does not make sense at all, honestly.
Now, this is more of a sociological question.
Okay.
Now, there is a pretty big stigma that we have conversed about this before, but this time around it came back once more, so we have to kind of come back this once more. But this time not oriented towards the sociological aspect of it. Now, this stigma that video games can be harmful for the growing populace, as in children, or general lifestyle of an adult, has been around for ages.
This is something that we have like talked about for the longest time. Mm-hmm. I think Manul, we talked about like this on a podcast on a different platform as well.
But this time, what I want to know is, have Phoenix Gaming or clans in general implemented anything to essentially counter that narrative?
Well, yes, as Salim explained in his when he talked about it earlier as well, when we had this player Rehan, he was this young kid, right, about 15, 16 years of age, and like his parents were like, I know him personally, so his parents were very into his life, so they were like pretty much controlling him in some sort of way, and they were very protective of him. That's how I want to word it. But we talked to the parents, and like there was this one point where Abid had to talk to my dad, because I was like a kid as well around the time that I was joining Phoenix, and they had to explain what this whole situation is, like what this tournament is and what I'm doing there and all of that. So Phoenix has done that for the longest time. Like we have been the advocate for esports, right? We have like tried to break that whole stigma of gaming is bad for you, gaming is not a good thing. We have shown people that it could be a viable career option.
Yeah, viable career option.
I'm an example right here.
My opinion, I don't think that gaming will be a barricade for your education. Myself, I have done my qualifications. I have a degree in engineering and I have my master's, and that's MBA basically. So I accelerated to my academics due to the gaming, and I don't think presently it's a taboo in children. And what I'm saying, anything too much is bad. Let's say a child doesn't play video game, he's totally watching cartoons. So that means that it's also an addictive part. Anything too much is wrong, and it's parents have to guide them, and they have to give the freedom to the kids. Tomorrow that kid might not be good in their academics, but they can do something else to the gaming. And today we see people earn through gaming more than qualified professionals are earning in the industry, right? So I encourage that you have to get educated, and you have to play video games also, because it gives you a peace of mind, it relaxes yourself, and parents should know especially that gaming is not wrong. End of the day, your child will be at home playing video games rather than going out on streets and getting into any other messes, which I don't want to mention. It's a good thing. In every way it's a good thing. And in PNX we have a lot of youngsters, and today those youngsters, they are educating themselves. When they played video games, we explained to their parents what is gaming is all about. Then they really understood what is it all about. because during their time, gaming, there was something called gaming during their generation, and during our generation, it is where it started. In PNX also, there are people who have done so much of qualified people are there. Everyone are educated from degree to masters. Everyone are professional in one way. And what I am saying is, in abroad, there in universities, they are giving a degree in esports. I am also having an idea in long run. We should introduce a degree in Sri Lanka also in esports, because esports, it's not all about sitting in front of a PC and playing games. There's a huge thing. It's in the management. So because basically you can become a shoutcaster, you can become a brand manager, you can become a content creator, and you can become a general manager of a huge group, because huge financial transactions are happening. You need someone to manage it, and you have to be professional. Without a qualification, you don't understand how to do it. So get into a proper streamline. You need that perspective also. So we have to move into our next level. Like, see, in a country, we are in a very bad economical situation. Still, everyone had their fuel, okay? Everyone are getting something for an extent. Why? So educated professionals in IT sector, they introduce something called QR system. Everyone are happily getting whatever they want to get. So we are evolving. We are going to a next level. Even in the gaming also, we have to go to that level. Now, those days, it's all about playing video games. Today, there are a bigger scope in gaming.
That makes sense, yeah.
Kind of want to add to that as well, like since you asked what are the initiatives that we have taken as well, something that I want to give credit to Noob Alliance to is that they do a lot of educational videos through TikTok, if I'm not mistaken. Like they give out like the amount of prize money that you can win through these tournaments and all of that, and for a lot of parents, what they want for their child is to get a lot of money, right? That a lot of money means a good life, right? That way, like, you know, in a way they try to break that stigma. I'm not saying it's perfect, but then again, like, they have taken that initiative to at least try to educate people. So yeah, a plus point for them for that.
Now, we mentioned a lot of alternative paths you can take as somebody who is interested in the hobby of gaming. Now, one of those that have been shining throughout the past few years is video game creation.
Yeah.
Right? There are established companies in Sri Lanka like Prodigy, Arimac, Motion Miracles. Now, with proper Sri Lankan titles coming out, with Nero recently releasing on Steam as well, what are your thoughts on the video game industry in Sri Lanka?
My point, it is something that you have to look very focusfully. That is something will bring money regularly. When you take mobile games, even though I play PC game, there are certain games I am also addicted in mobile. And there are a tendency that, yes, I have spent to an extent to buy certain hero cards, and their updates are coming. Okay, you develop an Android game, still you get a lot of money. You develop a proper PC game. For example, I wish it happens, and we should be proud of it. If someone in Sri Lanka, when they have a huge company, and we can create a gaming to an extent like League of Legends or Dota, and it establishes globally, and we can proudly say this was done by a Sri Lankan.
Oh, if you want to bring in money, something like Genshin Impact.
Yes. Yeah, something like that. So gaming industry is a upcoming industry like other industries in the world, like food and medical, and gaming is also a sector, because there are billions of people playing video games around the world. And we should encourage to develop video games, and it doesn't require that you need to have a huge office space. You need big management. It's not like few people can get a good PC and high-end PCs and set up in a small place and do it.
Yes, and Bright Memory, if I remember correctly, was developed by one guy, and it was considered a AAA quality FPS game, a single play experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is truth to that.
Something that I want to add as well, like almost all these game developers in Sri Lanka, they started off as gamers. That's what grew the passion to create something beautiful, right? Like, for example, guys I know personally from Black Hammer Studios, Sithira, Sohan and them, they were all gamers that were involved in the esports scene as well. It's something that, like, you know, if you develop like a passion for it, there will always, like, you know, it will always open up paths for you. That's what I want to add to that.
One more thing to add, I have so much of my friends who are earning in millions in abroad, for Europe countries, and they were like calling me during pandemic, Macha, what is your idea to invest in Sri Lanka? I was like, why don't you buy few lands? And no, we are talking about starting up of something. What do you prefer? I said, you want me honest answer? Yeah, we should consider gaming industry. I have an idea in a long run, because I love it. Okay, we should have a huge gaming developing company. From small days, I used to start playing from Game Boy SP and Game Boy, and Konami and those games from Japanese games like Pokemon and all. This all developed, right? And I was like, we should start something in Sri Lanka. Why can't we do that?
Develop a console.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because like when it comes to gaming industry, Sri Lanka is like leagues behind a lot of other countries, and something that would actually get us closer to that would be like a gaming company that actually develops like a lot of video games, and like we have started, but we need more of that. We need more of that.
And it has to be marketed very well.
Yeah, it has to be marketed,
it has
and
to go to from the foundation level to especially the upcoming students and the gamers to understand in gaming there's a future, there's a life that you can go beyond playing.
Yeah, we need to break that stigma. Like, it's not just about gaming. That's the whole.
You don't sit and play.
Yeah.
You can create also.
If 5 to 7 people got together to create a video game about a cat that went viral.
Exactly. I mean, why can't Sri Lanka do that? Exactly.
Okay, we dug deep like we promised. We went too deep, I don't know. By the way, let's focus back onto the clans. Now, you guys are, again, for the third time I'm reminding, representatives of the Phoenix Gaming clan. Are there any promising teams or individuals that we should look out for that you would like to give a shout out to from the clan?
Definitely. One would be Phoenix Gaming Black. That's that has to be like the best League of Legends team I have seen after Lanka Lions. Yeah. And of course to the main man in that team, Hydra. He is a promising cyber athlete, and he's still a youngster but with a lot of talent.
Alright. Any from your end, Sunny?
So I told after the pandemic, lot of players, not disappeared. Actually, they are inactive, and what in PNX currently active is League of Legends, and we have Rainbow Six also going. To really give a proper answer on that, you need to get some tournaments running up, and you have to see who's the present talented, and then after that only I will be. I have to comment honestly on that, because at this present circumstances, if I bring up a name, I have to see the past results and give, which it won't be the same result present.
The main narrative is we need more tournaments to figure out who the skillful players and upcoming
More
players
PC
are.
tournaments.
More PC tournaments.
More PC tournaments. Now, this is something that GLK has been doing that I've been really into since the past few years is Women's Cyber Games Tournament. It has been pulling up a section of the community that hasn't had much time to shine throughout the years, and now that I see like an established community of female gamers in Sri Lanka, it's safe to say that the initiative is successful, and a lot of clans now have established female communities in Sri Lanka. So and I know we already touched upon this briefly during one of our previous questions, but has Phoenix Gaming been looking into like expanding towards female gaming community? Is there already established female gaming community within Phoenix Gaming? What are the plans?
Well, the thing is, we have a very good established female gaming community, like a female wing in Phoenix Gaming. So we have players like Harvey, we have players like Pikachu. We had players like Pikachu rather, and of course we had like a lot of other names we had players like Diva, Foxy, and players like that as well. And what I gotta say is like they were all dedicated players, and they are still dedicated players, and they pretty much like they don't want prize money, they just want to play tournaments and all of that. And I think Phoenix has done a good job at.
I have to mention about Bitsy.
Yes, Bitsy as well.
Bitsy.
Shout out to Bitsy.
Bitsy, she's in Japan now. She is a so passionate gamer. I have never seen. She's exceptional. Being
By
a
the way,
female.
she's the winner of the 2019.
Yeah, 20 she went to Japan, and
Yeah,
she used to
2019
come.
women's
She used to message in WhatsApp and ask, when are the tournaments? I was very surprised, because being even the gaming scene is male dominated. Some of these fellows who I look after the department, they don't ask when is the tournament. She quickly says, ask when is the tournament. How should I get prepared? What are the games played? What are the female games? She sometimes even questions, can't I get into the male competition also?
She is a very good player.
She's not only dedicated for one particular game, she wants to try everything, and whatever she tries, she's good at that. and she
Yeah.
has won.
Yeah, she has won.
There were certain turning points for PNX in overall championships, I would say, and even overall championship, and even certain points helped us to win the best clan award. I will credit the females,
The women's wing,
the girls who were in the PNX. They were a crucial turning point. Me being an admin, I know which tournament helped us to get the overall, I think 2019 or 18, we had a
2019 and 18.
SLT. For the overall championship, it was Bitsy who won the most wanted tournament, and there was another girl called Zara. She got the third place. It was the turning point because we were going neck and neck with Noob Alliance, and they made us help. It was the females. It's because of the women who made us to win there. Even though we were winning other game, this changed us.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's actually insane.
They were pretty much like the turning point for a lot of tournaments that Phoenix has played in.
It's not. I should always credit every members are equally treated in PNX.
Yeah.
And just because you are a women gamer, that we don't look into the narrow level. We see into an upper level. We treat them properly and we respect them.
Alright. That's actually good to establish early on time as well. Now this time this is more around the future of Phoenix Gaming, what I have to ask now. Now this year and the previous year we've been seeing a lot of, and I mean a lot of, free to play to competitive titles come out in the future. Multiverse is the best example I could think of right now. With all of these new games coming to light and Overwatch 2 potentially coming in the future and becoming a thing in Sri Lanka as well, are we currently looking into like expansions within Phoenix Gaming when it comes to new titles, new teams, new talent?
PNX, when we see there's an opportunity for players to go globally, if that game is established, we don't mind, irrespective whether it's rank or unranked.
Yeah.
We don't mind at all about it. We get it running. We encourage players. We find players. Even the players who don't play, we force them to play. Okay, you try it, and once they try it, they come and itself have told, Masha, this game is superb. I should have tried it before. Right? Certain cases has happened.
Many cases of that.
Many cases had happened. And I remember for League of Legends, Abid once told me, try this game. I was like, what the hell? This looks like cartoon shit kill. I had not to be discussed. Then when I tried, it is not like that. This is not like Dota. It's all about skill shots. You have to be very accurate because in Dota it's a different mechanics, here different mechanics. It's not like that. So you have to try. So if something launches like that new, we will definitely encourage our players to play, and there will be tournaments will be hosted after this December onwards. We are trying to change, and we are analyzing. We are seeing what are other clients doing. What is the main organization in Sri Lanka, GLK is going up. So we can't expect them to just, we can comment and we can encourage them to do it, and if they don't, we have to step up.
Well, because the thing is, like, we've had like a 2 years of break, and everyone was thinking, okay, Phoenix is dead. Phoenix is like this clan that's done for. Well, it's not. We're still here. We're still bleeding red. Just give us till the start of next year, and you'll see a huge change for Phoenix.
Phoenix never fall. It's always rises.
Right.
So it's only thing is we are just observing. We are seeing what's happening all around, and we have taken enough break, and we have to start changing the things up.
Alright, and hopefully if Multiverses catches on, I hope to see a team from your end.
Yeah.
Of course you will.
Of course you will.
I have to ask you guys, since you guys have been with Phoenix for a long time, would you personally, both of you, consider your time as a clan member in gaming in Sri Lanka to be fruitful?
Indeed.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
It's very, very fruitful because the friends, it's not like all friends, it's a family.
Yeah.
It's a family, and PNX is always has been, no matter whatever happens, we know that PNX is there to look after your back. It's not all just a professional e-sport organization, it's about that. And whenever there's an issue, definitely the members in the PNX are family. They will come for your aid.
No matter what it is.
No matter what it is.
Everyone will be there for you. That's what like Phoenix is all about.
Sounds perfect to me. And would you recommend the casual average gamer who's never even heard of clans to give clans a shot? Do you think it'll be an enlightening experience?
Yeah, definitely.
I will tell, because people who are playing games casually, they might know how the gaming career is, what is it, but when you join an organization, you will be guided properly. we will understand you, and we know what is your talents and where it should be utilized. So that's what you should join a professional clan. So in PNX, whoever joined us, they have left, but whenever they have leave PNX, they have not left, just they are the dominated players, and then only they leave. So who created these dominated players, who encouraged them, who motivated them, who supported them? It was PNX, end of the day.
That is true. And like it's the thing is, like, if a casual gamer who's never heard of like esports or clans before, and if he just gets like a little bit of an interest, we would definitely take them. Like, we don't really care if you're like a talented player or if you're like a really bad player, if you're a noob or something like that. We don't care. We'll take you in, we'll coach you up, we'll definitely give you that guidance you definitely need for whatever you want to excel in, and we'll help you out with it.
So basically we have created many zeros to heroes.
Yeah.
Many serious heroes.
Many. Today, all of those heroes, one part when you ask for, when you bring them or you speak to them personally, down inside their heart, they know where they were.
They won't admit it, but
Some will.
Some will, yeah.
Some are very adamant, something that it was their own individual, but you shouldn't be adamant. You should be narrow-minded. You should be more open and kind-hearted. Then only you are a professional e-sport athlete, and you should always credit who helped you. And some are there who are good, they say it was PNX. Some say no, it's my own individual talent.
Okay.
So we don't mind that. That's what I said. We create zeros to heroes.
That sounds like a perfect time to me, and that's coming from a casual player. Alright, before we wrap it up, I would like both of you to let the world know how they can reach you. Snowy?
It's simple. Look us up on Phoenix Gaming on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. Just head on over to that and drop us a text. And you can watch our videos on Phoenix Gaming on YouTube as well.
This has been an enlightening experience for me personally, because I haven't gotten the chance to speak to clans this openly like this before, and we hope this can also work as an invitation for other clans to sit down with us and to converse with us as well in the near future. But until then, salam. You guys have been amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thanks for having us here.
And thank you, Vinyl Cafe, for letting us use this amazing establishment. I've been geeking out for over like 40 minutes ever since I arrived, looking at all the different vinyls, all these different artists and all that. One day I'll be visiting this place just to check out the music. But until
I'll join you on that.
Until then, sign out for now. Say bye with me. Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.